Hi class, it's Mrs. Latinsky. Are you ready for another art project? Today's project is going to be on the topic of Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving's coming up and I thought it would be great for us to find a way to be thankful with our art. Today's project will require the use of your colored pencils, a regular pencil, and a piece of white paper. Here's an example of today's art project done by my daughter Grace. You can see that it looks like a stained glass window. And this is one done by Lizzie. She's got a tree with all sorts of words for things that she's thankful about. In the center, you can see how she wrote, "I am thankful" on the trunk. A color wheel is something that artists use to help them find colors that go well together, complement each other. It's a way of talking about color. What we can see here are the three primary colors. We have red, blue, and yellow. In between those three primary colors are the colors you get when you mix them together. So here, let's look at blue and yellow. What happens when you put blue and yellow together? You get green. Let's do that with these two primary colors. Red and yellow combined make orange. Right in between. The secondary color right here is orange. Primary color with the secondary color happening when they get mixed together. Let's do it one more time. Here's two more primary colors, red and blue. When you take these two primary colors and you mix them together, what do you get? You get the secondary color, purple. Now here's a fun little factoid about the color wheel. When you take this half of the color wheel, you are looking at warm colors, red, oranges, yellows. Those are considered warm colors. I like to think of warm colors like fire. You see these colors like in fire, and well, fire is very warm. In fact, it's quite hot. Now, let's look at the bottom part of the color wheel. Can you see that? What do we see on the bottom part? Well, we see more cool colors. We see purple, blue, green. The top half of this color wheel is warm. The bottom half is cool. And guess what? That's the same thing that's going to happen with our drawing today. Check it out. The top part of this drawing is going to focus on the warm colors. We've got red, we've got orange and yellow, and different shades of red and yellow mixed in there. But the bottom part is going to have some cool colors. We've got the greens and the purples and the blues and the light blues and all mixed down here. So we're going to separate the warm from the cool. I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite artists. His name is Comfort Tiffany. He was an artist in New York City. He was born in 1848 and he lived until 1933. He was largely a part of a movement of art called Art Nouveau. It's a certain style of art during the 1920s. And he was famous, even though he was an excellent painter, he's most famous for the inventive way he could use glass to make beautiful works of art. Sometimes it was lampshades out of glass, sometimes it was stained glass windows. And let me show you my very first Tiffany window or work of art I got to see in real life. You could see this too at the Metropolitan Museum of Art called the Met in New York City. And this was done in 1908. I want you to pay attention to the fact that Tiffany used trees in this painting. You can see these are magnolia trees. He called this magnolia and irises. Irises are the kind of flowers you'll see along the bottom there. They're kind of purplish. Notice how the irises and the water right behind it are very cool colors. There's greens and purples and the blue of the water and the green of the trail down here. By the way, this isn't a painting. This is all glass, special colored glass he uses and pieces all these gorgeous little colorful pieces together and into one large window. Can you imagine having this in the window of your house? How colorful and beautiful the light would be. We have a bit more warm colors in the sky. He brings in a bit more yellows and kind of almost even a reddish, a little purplish too, but more warmer colors in the sky and cooler colors down below. And that's what we're going to go for a little bit in our artwork. I also want you to pay attention to something that he does here with his colors. Down below, we look and see cool, and we follow this brown up. It creates a sense of movement in the painting, first with the lines of these trees. It makes our eyes go upward, upward, upward to all these connecting colors up here. Get those art supplies ready. It's time to draw our tree. So I'm going to decide to draw my ground down here somewhere. lightly with a pencil. And then my tree is going to come out of there in the middle. Make the trunk thick enough so that you can write some pretty big words in the center. And then it's going to go upward. Now, drawing a tree looks really complicated, but all you have to do when you draw a tree is just think about this big trunk. What it's going to do is going to split. You have to decide which way you want it to split and how many times you want it to split. I'm going to go off to the left with this one. See this? If you do it lightly, you can make some changes. I don't want these branches to be so big, they just go off the side. There's one split. I'm going to split this other one off this direction. Now I'm going to split these ones off even more. And maybe this one's going to split off. The fun thing about trees is they just kind of keep splitting any old way you want. And this is the great part about pencil. You can erase and you can make another split come out here. Just keep drawing more branches. Take them all the way off the edge of that paper. Split off as much as you want. You don't have to make a lot of branches. Just a few big ones is fine. Just keep going. Make enough room so that you have room to put words on them later. They don't need to be really teeny. I have 4 main branches here, you can see. Those will be for 4 big things I want to write. You can just keep adding more where it looks like there's holes, or leave it as it is. Another way you can do branches that might be more simple for you is to use your hand. You can trace the hand that you don't write with, and you can even draw little branches off your fingers. And then write the things that are important to you in the fingers, the branches, and if you can't write the words, you could also do some pictures, or you could do a combination of pictures and words if you want. Draw the things in the middle that are really important to you, where you have a lot more room, like maybe your house or where you live or your school. I'm going to write something really big I am thankful for. Are you ready? See if you can figure out what it is. Art. You got it. I am thankful for art and for the chance to do art with you lovely people. Okay, this is me being silly. I'm going to put a little hole, one of these knots in the tree, maybe for a little owl to live in. Here I'm going to draw some lines to create that grassy stained glass look below the tree. Break it up into little sections however you like. We're going to fill that up with cool colors. Highlight all those words and lines, every little line with brown or black. Oh yeah, now it's time to fill in that tree. Now be careful you don't color too hard on the tree when you're filling it in brown, because you want to be able to read it still. So I like to take my pencil and lay it kind of on its side. Just very lightly use the side of the pencil. You fill it in. See that? See how the letters are still really dark, and you can see those letters, but you can still see that the tree trunk is brown. Pick the cool colors out of your pencil pack and fill in those little sections with different cool colors. Pick out the warm colors, the reds, the oranges, the yellows for this next step. Now these colors get to go in all the spaces, empty spaces between the branches. All right, there we go. All the colors put together, and my warm color on the top, my cool color in the bottom, and all my thankful words going up my tree. Thanks for doing art with me today. I hope you enjoyed making thankful trees with me. I would love to see your thankful trees and see some of the things that you're thankful for. It's wonderful to share the things that we're all thankful for together. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.